Welcome back to the Premier League Finals 2020. That is the trophy that we are 90 minutes of FIFA away from giving out to one of the players left in it. Is either going to go to hashtag Tom of Watford or Mark Marley of Bournemouth. We've had the PS4 side of things, and that went 1-0 to hashtag Tom. And now we're going over to Mark Marley's preferred console, which is the Xbox. 1-0 down isn't much. Guys, Mark and Dan, what are you making of what you've seen so far and what is still to come?
I think 1-0 down so far is a perfect way to put it. You know, incredibly tight game between the two players. Exactly what I expected, to be honest with you, in that grand final because of the pressure that's on them both. But second leg ahead of us now. We are moving over to the Xbox, which is, of course, a Mark Marley's preferred console. So a real opportunity here, Dan, for him to close that gap very quickly.
I feel like all of this is my fault. I predicted goals, and whenever any commentator predicts goals don't happen. So there's going to be no goals in this second leg, and it's going to end 1-0. There we go. Now I've cursed it, and now there will be goals. But now I've just said there's going to be goals, so there won't be goals. So either way, we might have goals, we might not have goals.
What, you turning to Ryan now?
Yeah, I'm going to sit on the fence.
Might be goals,
maybe.
There might not be goals.
Maybe
but we hope that there is, of course. And I'm sure that Bournemouth fans are hoping there will be goals in this as well, as Mark Marley is currently trailing by that single solitary goal in the first half. But he did have chances, Dan. There were chances to create those opportunities to strike on goal. But I keep talking about how it's nearly. Well, this is the goal that separates the two sides, and it was a little bit of magic here from Tom. Just quick passing, waiting for that run, little fake shot, and he's left him for dead.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, that fake shot doesn't get past Van Dijk. I'm sure that when it did get past him, Tom was like, oh, well, I need to take advantage of this because Van Dijk has been so consistent throughout this tournament and in FIFA 20 in general. But just having the idea to go for that fake shot, because once out of 10 times it is going to work, and Tom's been able to take full advantage of that. And Mark said in his interview, like, he was a little bit shaky in the first half, but he picked things up in the second half. He got close to scoring. He had his chance. We can look at that chance just now. To be honest, if he can find more chances like this on his own console where he is going to be a little bit more comfortable, there's no reason why he can't get back into this game.
Like you said, this was his big chance in the game as well. It's kind of classic play that we have seen from him so far, just waiting for that moment, biding that time. Maybe guilty, overplaying it there, had the chance to strike on the right, turned back and obviously tried to bait that shot as well. And yeah, it's one of those things like we always say, like hindsight's 2020 as we see that sure he definitely needs to get some fresh socks.
Dirty socks.
I mean, come on, boys, hook him up with some socks, right? But the man who's on your screen right now will be very happy, of course, with the position he's found himself in. And he's got a little bit of a smile on his face right now. He's obviously, you know, he's going to focus up once we kick off the game. We get straight into it as soon as we possibly can. The fact that he's so close to that trophy now, that elusive trophy. There's been a few players throughout the years. We've always said, you know, the bridesmaid, never the bride. But now it's the chance for Tom to step up to that level, to have that trophy that he's coveted all season long.
Yeah, and what a signing he's been for Hashtag as well, by the way. Of course, he was at Footwiz previously, had a good FIFA 19 season, and then was brought on to Hashtag with probably a lot of expectations. Hashtag is one of the biggest teams that is within FIFA. It's a very prestigious thing to be involved with, as Ryan knows on the desk. And the fact he has had achievements, he has been part of the E-Lions. Of course, he's been part of the E-Club World Cup with that run with Tex as well, and his success in the Foot Champions Cups that we've seen. If he can wrap that all up with the ePremier League, I mean, Hashtag, they're going to be laughing with how successful he has been, and I'm sure that will solidify his Hashtag future for quite some time. But it's easy to say that. He's only got a goal lead going into his unfamiliar console. And even Ryan, a professional player, said it's sometimes very difficult to adjust from controller to controller. So if Mark Marley has been able to calm himself down here, is comfortable, and can get the first goal, he might be able to really build on that and put some pressure on Hashtag Tom.
And it's a strange situation to find yourself in going into a second leg as well. You're up by 1, and you kind of think, in the back of your head, you're like, okay, I need to hold on. Naturally, you're thinking, I'm in the lead. All I need to do is not concede, right? Which can kind of mess with how you play the game a little bit. You know, we know that Tom likes to go forward. He likes to try and score goals. But having that in the back of your head that you're, 90 minutes away now from securing your first ever major trophy here as a player, has got to play on his mind.
Yeah, you don't want to play a style you're not comfortable with. Some people do pick up a game and they approach it by saying, okay, well, now I have to play defensive because I've got the lead. However, if Tom does that and he's not comfortable playing defensively, then you're naturally going to make more mistakes because you're not in a familiar environment. You're not playing the way way you want to. Tom just has to continue playing the way he was. He has to push forward, he has to get aggressive in the right areas, and just dominate possession. He wasn't playing defensive in that first leg, nor has he been in the previous games today. Instead, he's just dictated the pace of play, he's had possession in the right areas, and he's played the through balls when he needed to.
Now for Mark Marley on the other side of things, 1-0 down at the moment. What does he have to do in this second leg? Do you think he's kind of going to try and recreate that second 45 so that we saw in that first leg? Because he looked pretty good in that one.
Or recreate what he was able to do against Tex. And what he was able to do against Tex was be aggressive and not be scared of the situation. He was constantly playing those over-the-top through balls, penetrating that wing, and then trying to find those passes through the middle. Tom hasn't offered up as much space as Tex was in their previous tie, but I feel like if Mark consistently goes for that option, he should be rewarded eventually.
Well, the wait is over, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for bearing with us, and it's time for the second leg now of our grand finals of the ePremier League. 90 minutes between one of these players being crowned our champion of this year's illustrious tournament. And it is going to be Tom with that 1-goal advantage, like we've reiterated a few times now. He will have the advantage at the start of this second leg.
The ePremier League champion awaits, the trophy awaits, also £20,000 for the winner. Already 10,000 guaranteed for both of these players. They'll certainly want to walk away and call themselves the ePremier League champion for an entire season. And we see some early possession here for Tom, and it's something that he was able to achieve very comfortably in the first half of the first leg, and it looks like he's trying to do more of the same here.
There's Mahrez, a little bit of space here for De Bruyne, gets it onto that left foot, and I think that Tom might be a little bit disappointed with what the Belgians produced there. We know what his shooting statistics are like in-game, that 99 rated item. Missing the target, a little bit surprised for everyone there.
Yeah, 5-star weak foot means that you can just hit him from there as well. I've seen him go in. De Bruyne has the capability to do so. But I respect the fact he has gone for the shot. He's not gone for the higher percentage play of going for the extra pass or dribbling it a little bit further. Just trying to take an early chance, see if he can gain a 2-goal advantage, and he steals the ball back in a very dangerous area here with Mahrez.
Yeah, Tom taking a little bit of a chance there and pressing high up the pitch and being rewarded for it as he's now moving that ball nice and quickly around the 18-yard box, and this is difficult to deal with if you're defending right now. A couple of step-overs from Trezeguet inside.
What a save.
Testing the goalkeeper already, but Alisson was equal to it.
Massive save there for Alisson. One of the few players using Alisson over Nick Pope. And he certainly saved his bacon there.
There's still pressure here from Tom, and he started this second leg exactly how he would have wanted to as well. Keeping that pressure on his opponent. Not falling into that trap of trying to play a defensive game when you do have that advantage going your way. Mark Marley will win the ball back now, and the Bournemouth man has to go forward.
Opting just to bide his time, play the ball around the defence. Not scared to recycle the play. Tom is pressing, and Tom is looking to win this ball back with his wingers. And he has done pretty well there to actually regain possession and get the throw in. Mark just not able to get past that front line, really, that Tom is setting up. And I like that. I like to see players just applying a little bit of pressure in their opponent's half.
And speaking of pressure, it's actually Mark Marley who's won the ball back high up the pitch here. You can see the focus on both of these players' faces. You know what it means to him, and there's Firmino again. Fighting in that midfield to win that ball back. And when you've got a player who's willing to do that in those positions, it really does go a long way to solidify the way that you're playing the game.
Mark Marley really utilising the striker drop-back function, trying to get as many men behind the ball as possible, but he's not particularly playing a very low defensive line.
Here's
see 10 men behind the ball right now.
Gets that ball inside, tries to take it first time here with Firmino, and you could see maybe trying a little heel to heel there, but Van Dijk was strong enough to hold off his Liverpool teammate there. Things were looking dangerous, but Tom's looking so good going forward again here, Dan.
Mark was triggering those runs and sending Max Min on a little bit of a jolly old adventure down the right wing, but the run was tracked by Tom, and that's something he has done really well throughout today. He sees those runs, he spots them, and he does switch to his fullbacks to track the run at times, or he'll reposition his defender or a central defensive midfielder to ensure that the pass is cut out.
Still the 1 goal between the two players. It really is balanced beautifully. This grand final between Bournemouth and Watford. Can Mark Marley find an equaliser here? With the way that the game's gone, a second goal here for Tom, and you feel like Even this early on, Mark Marley's going to have a big uphill task, but can't make the most of that particular attack, and Tom will have the opportunity to go forward himself. But no, De Bruyne steps in, and Mark Marley and Bournemouth will win the ball back high up the pitch here.
Nice last to go to beat the first man, and does offer up a lot of space for him as well, but just needs to connect with this pass, really. But with the way that Tom's been pressing, he's making Mark Marley work so hard just to get that ball away, and in the end, he just has to accept a little bit of a throw in here.
St. Maximin's been at the heart of most of the things that have been good here for Mark Marley, but there's the ball around the corner to Trezeguet. Exits the same way that he came in with that drag back, but again, just cannot beat the defensive lines that have been put up there by Tom. But more promising signs here for the Bournemouth man.
Yeah, Mark just trying to be a little bit more unpredictable there. Faking the drag back, going back forward. But Tom wise to it. And that's one thing Tom has always been so successful at doing throughout his time, is reading his opponents.
Trezeguet has found Pogba in a bit of space here. Goes back inside. Pogba gets it back, and it's a second here for Watford, and a second here for Tom. And how vital that goal could be. That could be the goal that crowns #Tom as the ePremier League champion.
And when he played that first pass to St. Maximin, you thought, all right, maybe he's going to go on and shoot with him. But the run from Pogba was phenomenal. And Tom, quite rightly, picking him out and then just doing enough to get away from the defender to get the shot away. And that summer heat Pogba is quite some item. And now he has that 2-goal cushion. And you said maybe that could be the game for Mark Marley, realistically, with how things have been going so far. Because Tom really is in the ascendancy. Going forward, just looks so strong.
Well, here's Firmino now. He gets through again against Van Dijk, and oh, it's gone to ground. And it is going to be a penalty here. The Elastico baited the challenge.
Oh, no, not Pogba. Yeah,
it's going to be Trezeguet who steps up here to make it 3-0 on aggregate for Tom, but it's saved! Mark Marley is alive!
Huge save in the grand scheme of things for Mark Marley. 3-0 and it's game over. And he's looking at just being the second place, the runner-up, but at 2-0 he still has a chance. Still so much time left in this tie.
A huge moment in this game, in this grand final. If that goes in, like you say, Dan, this is curtains. This is so difficult for Mark Marley to get back into the game. But 45 minutes ahead of us now. The last attack of this first half will go to Tom.
And every time Tom's defending, he's utilising that offside trap to push those defenders up and make things very difficult for Mark Marley. Mark's not been able to have that over-the-top through ball success in this game that he found against Tex, because that offside trap has been pushing those defenders up and not allowing him to do so.
And 2-0 down on aggregate, and just looking at those statistics as well, no shots whatsoever for Mark Marley in that first half, and the changes need to happen now. He cannot afford to wait down until that 60th, 70th minute to make these changes. It needs to happen soon. It needs to happen now, and he needs to put the pressure back onto Tom and start putting those thoughts in his head of, you know, if he scores once, he's, I'm not going to throw this away. I'm so close to picking up this trophy. You need to do that. You need to put those thoughts in his head.
Yeah, you need to try and take this calmness away from #Tom. You saw quickly there, Mark Marley did up his depth of his defence, just bringing it from 3 to 5 to push up the pitch a little bit more. But of course, that does mean he might leave himself a little bit more vulnerable at the back and a chance for Tom to potentially make it 3. But that penalty save really does keep Mark Marley alive here.
So 45 minutes here for Bournemouth's Mark Marley to start the comeback. And for Tom, well, the job is simple. Stop Mark Marley scoring. But this is not the start he would have wanted. What a tackle that was from Pogba somehow. It looked like De Bruyne was guaranteed to get a strike away on goal, but the Frenchman who scored at one end has shown he's got the defensive capabilities at the other as well.
I would imagine Tom going to try and manage this game now, try and keep possession. As I say that, Mark Marley does wrestle the ball back, and every time Mark Marley gets possession now, he needs to make it count. And if it's not a goal, it has to at least be a threat just to get in the head of Tom, as you say. Try to make him at least worry about the possibility of a comeback.
Well, Trezeguet has pulled himself out wide here, and the attentions of Van Dijk are enough to send him back once more. He's just working so hard to get this little half yard of space every single time. Here's Kante. A little bit of danger here for Tom. Trezeguet back onto that right foot, but can't beat the goalkeeper.
Pope with a huge save. corner though. Still danger for Mark Marley. But what can he do from it? It's actually going to be a free kick. And so many times we see free kicks from this position just played short, tried to play to the edge of the box. I wonder whether we'll see something creative.
He's actually going to dig this one into the box. And Louise will tower above Firmino, I believe it was, in the middle there, to win that defensive header. And a little bit of pressure coming in earlier in the second half, Dan. It needs to happen here for Bournemouth.
Yeah, just by upping that depth ever so slightly of his back four, it means he's winning the ball back in slightly more dangerous areas against Tom. But all Tom needs to do is get that one through ball, and then suddenly he's going to be through on goal.
Well, here's Tom again, a third, like we mentioned, and this pretty much would be game over. And here is Bobby Firmino. De Bruyne does get that interception, and now 30 minutes left in this game for Mark Marley. It's now or never.
Just a little bit wayward. Like the idea, and might have been able to stretch his legs if he was able to get on the end of it, but giving away possession means less time to work with, as the time is going to slowly dwindle away here from Mark Marley. As I mentioned earlier, Tom just needs to manage this game, and if that means recycling the play, playing it from fullback to fullback every now and then I'm sure he will certainly find every single way to keep possession, but does lose out here. And that means there's always going to be a chance for Mark Marley to get one back. And even though it's a 2-goal game, it feels like a 1-goal game, because you know how significant this next goal will be for Mark Marley.
Tries to play that ball over the top, but well tracked there by #Tom. And then there's a chance maybe for him to put a ball in behind himself, but Mark Marley keeping that pressure up here. He's back inside. Firmino trying to turn away from David Luiz. Things looking promising here for the Bournemouth man, working his way towards goal. Can he find that pass that he's looking for, that killer ball into one of those forward men? Tom doing well to pressure that ball though and make these passes so difficult. But here's a chance now. Mane into Trezeguet, can't get away from Luiz.
It was a really well worked chance. He was trying not to be unpredictable, wasn't playing that pass instantly because he wanted to get Tom to second guess himself. But unfortunately, that through ball just not enough to get past David Luiz. Trying to play those little short through balls isn't really going to work against Van Dijk and David Luiz. They're just so strong at the back. We go to the pause menu. We're going to have to change things up here for Mark Marley. Maybe a couple of player changes, perhaps. Mahrez is going to join the fray. And I imagine he'll start to push players forward even more here, because with only 20 minutes left in this grand final, otherwise, he's going to find himself as a runner-up. For #Tom, it's just about keeping the ball. It sounds very simple, but actually when the pressure is on from your opponent and they're pressing, they're utilising the offside trap to kind of squeeze you, it can be difficult to hold on to it.
Yeah, if you're trying to keep the ball and you lose it, those players flowing forward, before you know it, it can turn into a chance for your opponent. So, nervy moments for both of these players now, as we're into the last 20 minutes of this game. For Mark Marley, he needs a goal. He needs a goal soon to put that pressure on and keep that dream alive of becoming an Premier League champion. And for Tom, another goal now. And surely he could react. Here's Adama Traore using that pace on the right-hand side. Tries to play that ball inside, uses that strength to retain the possession as well. Mark Marley does well.
And it sounds silly for Mark Marley, but he actually has to give chances to Tom. He has to try and lure Tom out of this possession play by saying, look, here's a gap of space, please take it. And then you try and tackle, then you try and get possession back so you can actually get an attack of your own.
Well, Firmino's done incredibly well there. Trezeguet going to stop up, but the only problem was Virgil van Dijk, the ghost, was all over him there. And now he's going to give the ball away, but wins it back immediately with Wan-Bissaka.
#Tom, 12 minutes in-game away from that first ever major trophy. The nerves, I'm sure, starting to kick in now, as he just needs to hold on and not concede, but every attack from Mark Marley is going to be terrifying for him.
Again, the interception superb. A little bit of fortune here going to Mark Marley, though. Luiz steps in once more. He's been a towering monster in that centre-back position, but he's going to be called in once more. Chance for Mark Marley! It's 2-1! And he's back in the game with 8 minutes plus stoppage time. And is the Cinderella story still alive?
And you could see how nervy it was for #Tom at the back there. He won possession twice and then still gave the ball away. Tried to rush that pass, didn't take his time because he knows how close he is to winning that trophy. But now, there is the possibility of Mark Marley getting back into this. He just needs to regain possession, which he does. He's got 5 minutes left to find an equaliser.
5 minutes left for Bournemouth. 5 minutes left here for Mark Marley. He's already dispatched of Tex, the reigning ePremier League champion. And if he can take down what many people say is the best PS4 player in the world, well, he would deserve that crown. But for now, he hasn't got possession. And he's got Adama Traore running at him on this right-hand side now for Tom.
And instincts will tell Tom, yeah, just to hold on to that ball. He is looking nervy. You can see it both visually and in his gameplay, but it's just a matter of eating away at this clock now. Added on time, I can't imagine it being more than 2 minutes at this point. And it's going to be a throw-in just to slow things down a little bit more. Take a breather now for #Tom. 2 minutes of added on time for Mark Marley to try and grab an equaliser.
But he's won the ball back here with Masuaku. And now the West Ham man is pushing his team forward. Ball in behind. Is he offside though? He is. And that might be it here. All year, everybody has been saying that Tom deserves a trophy, and now he has one. Watford are your ePremier League champions. Congratulations to #Tom. You've done it.
And that's what a first major trophy looks like. £20,000 for Tom as well. Almost tears in the eyes of that man because he's worked so hard since he came into the scene around FIFA 17. Commiserations, of course, to Bournemouth and Mark Marley. What a performance it was from him to even get that far. But he's finally done it, Mark. He's won the ever-elusive trophy he's just not quite been able to get his hands on. We can finally call him a major winner, the ePremier League champion.
Amazing stuff from Tom. WATFORD, ole, ole, ole. #Tom is the ePremier League champion, and boy, does it feel sweet for him. You can see what it means, Dan. It's been all year, right? He's been so close, so many times. He's been to console finals. He's been a PS4 champion, but he's never been a cross-console champion. Well, now you can see it behind us. The trophy is stood there. And, of course, he is the one who is going to be receiving it. But, I mean, coming into this tournament, he was one of the favourites, and we could see why there.
Yeah, we knew that he was going to be probably in the final from the PlayStation side. When you look at his competitors, you look who he's going up against, he looked the strongest. He was definitely the informed player. But the big question was he going to be able to win that cross-console final? Likelihood, we were thinking it was going to be Tex, and then suddenly the giant killer Mark Marley walks in, takes down Tex. We don't get that cross-console final we expected, but it was still a very hard-fought performance from Mark Marley, and a late surge there where I know #Tom would have been worrying, the heart would have been beating, and the adrenaline would have been pumping through. But just that celebration, I think, says it all for me. Like, he is a deserved champion. There are 2 winners of the ePremier League now, Tex and #Tom.
2 winners, of course, in Liverpool and now Watford. What a story for them. Congratulations. If you're a Watford fan, I'm sure that you absolutely love #Tom right now. But I just want to talk about Mark Marley for a second here, because coming into this tournament, I would not have picked him in, a list of 10. To be honest with you, players who would have been potential winners of this tournament. But getting all the way to the grand final, the cross-console final, to come in second place here in the ePremier League, representing Bournemouth and also being an Xbox champion and beating Tex, the defending champion, on his way to it. I mean, we can't talk enough about him. Looking forward to seeing what he can do in the future.
I mean, his coach and fellow ex-teammate Adam Ryan has always been kind of singing his praises and saying how good he is, and I think that was demonstrated here today. £10,000 as well, like, to walk away with, coming runner-up in the ePremier League. He's going to be more than happy with that. There's always going to be that disappointment of not being first place, but I think if you asked him at the start of the day, would you be happy with second? He would have been like, of course I'll be happy with second. I've got Tex in my bracket. He took him down. He will be remembered as a player who's beaten Tex. When we go into FIFA 21 and we talk about who has beaten Tex in their career, we'll say Mark Marley.
Amazing stuff. Well, once again, congratulations to Watford. Congratulations to #Tom. That first trophy in the cabinet. That's going to do it all from us for now. It's down to Rachel on the floor.
Thanks, Mark and Dan. And I'm standing next to the trophy, which unfortunately we can't give to Tom right now because he's, of course, not here. He's over in Essex with the boys celebrating already. We'll chat to him in a bit, but you said it. Hashtag Tom and Watford are our ePremier League champions of 2020. He defeated, of course, Mark Marley from Bournemouth in an epic battle in that cross-console final. And let's have a little chat with Mark Marley right now because he was an absolute trooper in that final. I'm going to just go in there and say congratulations, Mark. I mean, can you just sum up today and the fact that you probably didn't even expect to get to this grand final and go away with £10,000? How does that sound?
Yeah, also that sounds amazing. I think it'll probably take a few days to properly sink in. And also, I say congrats to Tom. I think anyone watching that probably said that he deserved it and definitely deserves a trophy after the year he's had as well.
Can you just sum up this tournament for yourself?
Well, obviously, we played that last year and we got to the quarterfinals, maybe, a little unlucky not to get further. So it was something, as soon as it was announced again for the second year we were looking at. And, as soon as we qualified, as I said earlier, we were looking to go far and also grand finals and, the £10,000, definitely take it.
And how much confidence do you think, getting to this grand final will do for your career going forward?
Oh, that'll be massive. I think last year I gained a lot of confidence, and then other tournaments played at, Bucharest as well, and I was on fire after that. So this will probably be my last game of FIFA 20. So we'll take it in the next year, and we look forward to the competitive year starting up again next time round.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Mark. I hope there's someone in the house, wherever you are, to go and celebrate with you, because I wish you were here and we could all celebrate together, but it's not to be. Congratulations once again.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
That's so great to hear from our finalist there. He's not, of course, with us. He can't be here, but he's a great, obviously, runner-up, going home with £10,000. I'm sure Bournemouth are super chuffed as well. They got into that grand final with their player. He did awesomely, but I want to go to this, the trophy. And the winner of this, of course, is hashtag Tom. He is our ePremier League champion 2020. I wish he could be here in all his flashing lights in this beautiful studio in London, but he can't. There he is on the screen. Tom, I'm so happy to say that you are a champion. This is yours, £20,000. You must be over the moon. I can see it in the celebrations.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like today, I've been really calm. Like I haven't let out like a single emotion for, when did we start this? 6 o'clock, 5 hours ago. And like it finally, to actually win something, I've spent all year like coming second, coming third. Oh, Tom's the best player, but he doesn't actually win. Now to actually win, it doesn't feel real yet. I can't lie, it does not feel real.
How are you going to celebrate tonight?
How are you going to celebrate tonight? Well, looking at Shorey and Sven, and I'm thinking anything they want to do. Anything they want to do, I think we are going to enjoy our night, I'll say that.
Yeah, just tell us what it means to the hashtag boys as well and to the club, because you're obviously such a close-knit team, aren't you?
Yeah, we have been in pursuit the whole year of a trophy between us, even when Harry was here. We felt like with obviously what happened with the season that it was just hard luck sort of thing, and we'd have to just bounce back from it. But I said to him today, there's no way we finish FIFA 20 without winning something. With how good the three of us have been, obviously me and Shorey now, it had to happen at one point. We couldn't see it out without winning. So I'm so happy. Obviously everything hashtag have done for me since I've signed here a year ago. You can see by the way I've obviously got better. It's not a coincidence sort of thing. It didn't just happen. There's a lot of work that's gone into it. And yeah, it means a lot for me. It means a lot for the club. And I'm very, very happy that I could do it for him.
Tom, you are no longer the bridesmaid. You are now the bride. You are the ePremier League champion. Finally, 2020. We'll get this to you.
Thank you.
Go and enjoy your evening.
Oh, what a nice trophy. Tell Ryan I said hello as well. I don't know if he's there. Get in, Ryan. I did it.
He's there.
I did it.
He's loving it as well. We're all loving it in the studio for you because we know how hard you work. But Tom, thank you again, once again, for being such a great competitor. Just go and enjoy your evening. That's it. We'll let you go now.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye. Thanks.
We can still hear him. He just is so excited. But there you have it. We have a new ePremier League champion for 2020. It is, of course, hashtag Tom of Watford. He takes home this beautiful trophy. And congratulations once again to Mark Marley from Bournemouth and all the finalists who got here to represent their clubs. But that is it for this evening. I want to say thank you to Ryan, who is still over there, to the casters, Dan and Mark, for joining us throughout this entire evening, and thank you guys at home for watching. But that is it from me. Thank you very much and good night.